I'm glad to be here to formally welcome you to the CCAD community. As Dr. Korn said, I'm Jeni Britton, and as of July 1st, I am the chair of CCAD's Board of Trustees, and I'm the founder and chief creative officer of Jeni's Splendid ice creams. But before I was any of those things, I was a kid who won a scholarship to attend Saturday morning classes here at CCAD, and I've been a champion and supporter of CCAD ever since. Those classes changed my life. I learned to believe in myself here. Art has always informed my perspective. I was raised by an artist and art teacher grandmother, and I went on to study art and illustration and art history. And while I'm not an artist in the traditional sense, I consider all of my work to be at the intersection of art and business, two seemingly opposing forces. Dr. Korn spoke about the CCAD way, and I'd like to talk a bit about how that fits into with what we do at Jeni's, because our company thinks differently about things, and I think that companies like ours represent the future. So let's talk about creative collaboration. At Jeni's, that operates in a couple of different ways. First off, we employ a number of artists and designers, people like you, and that's important. Not only because we want to deliver beautiful ice creams and thoughtfully considered spaces, although yes, we definitely want to do that, but also because you are creative thinkers. You see solutions sometimes before other people have even identified a problem. You're telling important stories, and you're bringing meaning and connection into our lives. At CCAD, you'll be encouraged to take risks, to work across disciplines, and to partner with nonprofits and companies trying to solve real-world challenges. And that's the sort of thing that we do every day at Jeni's. Beyond making really great ice cream, a lot of what we do is about building connections, valuing individuals' hard-won experience, and telling stories. You know, in the Midwest, we're often uncomfortable with bragging about ourselves, but just indulge me for one moment. I am, by most measures at this point in my life, a business success. Founder, chief creative officer of a well-known and beloved company. My first book, Jeni's Splendid Ice Creams at Home, was a bestseller. I won a James Beard Award, and you can find our scoop shops all across America, from LA to Charleston, and of course right here in Columbus. Also in the freezer aisles, online. And I've had the great opportunity and privilege to learn and grow and share my business expertise and civic experience with other people. And yet, my first attempt at going pro with ice cream was what most of the world would see as a complete failure. In 1996, I opened an ice cream shop called Scream Ice Cream in the North Market. And with Scream, I had a lot of great ideas, and also a lot of bad ones. I had some dedicated customers, and I had a really good product that was getting better by the day. But there was one thing that I didn't have. I didn't have a team. And because I lacked that important element, I had to close Scream. But I knew that someday I wanted to open an ice cream business that was deeply connected to the community and that delivered something that would consistently bring people back over and over. And that something is now what we know as Jeni's, which I opened in 2002. And you'll hear me use the word company when I talk about Jeni's rather than business. I like to say that we aren't a business, actually. We're a creative-led, community-spirited company. That word, company, means you're not alone. And it really is all about people. Yes, we have beautiful ice cream, but it's because of the community of makers, growers, producers, suppliers, artists, poets, mathletes, scoopers, and customers, and everyone else in that network, who make Jeni's what it is. We have longtime partners in what we call the fellowship model. In the farmers that we work with, the people supplying the cow milk for our ice cream, the chocolate, whiskey, berries, pumpkins, cakes, and so on. And their expertise is key in our commitment to making ice cream unlike you'll find anywhere else. Collaboration at Jeni's isn't just about working with people like Tyler, the creator. I mean, of course, yes, it is that. But that can only happen because of how we collaborate together as a team and bring it to life. Internally, we work together as a fellowship. Each person, and by the way, that comes from Tolkien. That's not like, that's, the Lord of the Rings. Everybody coming together, bringing all of their talent, knowledge, perspective together, and then together we make up something greater than the sum of its parts. Anybody else out there, Tolkien nerd, come find me later. If you think about it in the right way, actually, even something as seemingly disparate as art and finance aren't really that different. Finance, at its core, is about removing complexity. It's about efficiency. It's about doing the most with the least. And I would say that the most creative thinkers and artists are finding new ways to do just that in their work. Both disciplines and perspectives understand that every single detail must make a difference. Artists find ways to inspire and activate in those nuances and details. And the finance team will find the resources to bring it to life. When you open yourself up to it, you can find ways to collaborate in the most interesting places, and the most incredible work will happen. So that's how we express creative collaboration at Jeni's. Now let's talk about intentional inclusivity, another key to the CCAD way. Jeni's is a certified B Corporation. What that means is that we meet rigorous standards of social and environmental performance, accountability, and transparency. In practice, that means that we use direct trade and fair trade ingredients, we employ a diverse team of people, and we work with a number of women and minority-owned businesses. This is baked into how we operate, and it is so important to our company culture. In fact, I like to say that we built the company that you would build if you were 12, and you just started doing things the way that you thought that everyone did them. But it's not the way that everybody does things. And that's what makes Jeni so special. We just figured it out as we went. And it also goes back to fellowship. The whole point of fellowship, a word that I use interchangeably with company, is that you're not alone. You're surrounded by a diverse and unique group of humans who all bring all of their passion to the table every single day. Sameness is the opposite of fellowship. Intentional inclusivity at Jeni's, as at CCAD, is a purposeful daily act. It's something that we pursue because we know that it makes for a better, stronger, and more successful company in the global economy. We want to reflect our customers, who they are, and what they desire. We're not perfect. Being a B Corp means we're continually trying to push forward and evolve. We strive to continuously improve our environmental and social impact and to build community wherever we go. But it isn't about perfection. It never has been. In fact, I'm not interested in being the best at anything. You see, the best is already over. It's someone else's idea. But better never quits. As a company, we're always redefining who we are and who we can be. We're better today than we were yesterday on almost all fronts, and that will be true tomorrow, too. And we're also willing to take a stand when the moment calls for it. A foundational belief of ours has always been the equality of all people, and we've made it unequivocally clear: Black Lives Matter. In June of last year, we were among hundreds of Columbus civic and business leaders who wrote to the Columbus City Council in support of the resolution declaring racism a public health crisis. An institutional and systemic racism and violence that we have seen and that threaten Black people's lives and livelihoods have no place in our community, and we must exercise them out. Every day, as individuals and as community members, we must be intentional in how we live that truth so that we can be clear about the beautiful future that we are manifesting here, in our community, and in our country. And finally, I want to talk about proven potential. That is CCAD's lasting history of alumni success. But before I do that, I hope you'll forgive me for a small digression, because I want to go back to the idea of failure. So today is the first day of your classes. It is for many of you your first college experience, and chances are good that you and your professors are feeling quite optimistic here at the start of things. The pages of your sketchbooks are blank, but the potential is right in front of you. By the time you leave CCAD, you will have filled many of those sketchbook pages and more. Some of your work will be inspired, and some of it will be not so great. As an elegant French woman once said about my black currant sorbet, it is shit. Some of your work will be shit too. But that's okay. It's more than okay. Because if you're doing things right, you're going to fail. And fail often over the next few years. I don't mean the kind of failure that comes from skipping classes or procrastinating on homework assignments. I'm talking about the failure that comes when you experiment, when you push yourself over your limits and then keep going, when you learn what works and what doesn't. Here's the thing. Being successful doesn't mean that everyone will always give you an A+ for your product or your work. You can't make smoked salmon and cucumber sherbet or Parmesan and zucchini cake-flavored ice cream, which was delicious, by the way, and expect that everyone is going to fall in love with it. But if you do something well, with passion, with intention, you will find your people, the people who will champion you and your vision. You'll learn from your mistakes, you'll refine your approach, and you will get better. And there's no better time than now to experiment, to try new things, and push the boundaries of your craft. This is a safe place for you to go out on the edge with your practice and learn something new about yourself and your work. What you discover will distinguish you from your competitors and give you a certain type of fortitude, an inner strength that will help you go far and be resilient in your professional life. And so that takes me and you all to proven potential. For more than 140 years, CCAD students have graduated ready to take on the challenges that the world presents. You may not feel ready to live up to that legacy, but you will. As CCAD students, you'll not only master the techniques and technology of your respected fields, you'll also learn professional skills like financial literacy, how to draft a business plan, which is actually really fun. I love doing that. How to market yourself and your business, and how to work with clients and customers. You will know your value in the world. Because your talent matters, and if you've made it here, you certainly are talented, but also because your skills in navigating the workplace and working with other people is just as important, if not more so. Every once in a while, I am lucky enough to hire a CCAD grad, folks like Kelsey McClellan or my longtime art director and right hand, Patrick Moore, to bring their sharp vision and skills to work at Jeni's. And Jeni's as a company has benefited from CCAD and its grads, and so too has the city of Columbus. Our city is a thriving hub of culture and commerce that it is because of CCAD and generations of graduates like you. That long legacy of success might feel inspiring, and I hope it does. It may also feel daunting or intimidating, and that's also understandable. The next few years will certainly force you to go on beyond what is comfortable, to strive for something newer and harder than you've ever experienced. But when you make it through this type of rigor, you will be ready to achieve great things. And I cannot wait to see what you do. So I'll close with a short anecdote. So I like to race cars, little fast rally cars, racer boy cars, with a lot of mods on them, both on track and on autocross courses. And when you race, you look way out into the distance. You never focus on the turn right in front of you, no matter how tight the turn is, because you'll spin out, which is also fun, but you don't want to spin out. And like magic, when you focus on the future with all of your being, your body and the car will get you there. So no matter what's happening on the ground right in front of us, stay focused on the hopeful future, and you'll get there, and we'll get there. You are artists. The whole world follows your lead. Dream big and take us there.